Los Angeles, 1947. A city full of glamour and dreams, but also secrets buried in its shadows. On the morning of January 15th, the mutilated body of a young woman was discovered in an empty lot near Leimert Park. She had been cut in half, drained in blood, and posed with chilling precision. Her name was Elizabeth Short, but the press gave her a different identity, the Black Dahlia. And from that moment on, Elizabeth's real story was lost. She became a symbol, a mystery, a myth. Not a daughter, not a friend, not a human being. She was a real person, not just a murder victim turned media sensation.
She was nude. She had been bisected at the waist. Bottom half of her body was posed obscenely. Her body bore torture marks, and her mouth was cut ear to ear into a hideous grin.
The pictures, once you've seen them, you'll never forget them.
The crime shocked the nation, but before police could act, the press had already taken over the case. The Los Angeles Examiner raced to control the narrative, even going as far as calling Elizabeth's mother under false pretenses. They told her Elizabeth had won a beauty contest, just to extract emotional quotes before breaking the news of her daughter's murder. It was cruel, but it sold papers. The more horrific the detail, the more newspapers flew off the racks. In the rush to profit, the press didn't wait for facts, they created them.
As soon as I told my city editor she's cut in half, wow, boom, get in with the pictures, the place. And it was the biggest extra we ever had next to VJ Day.
Did you read the papers? She's being played up as the hottest number since the atom bomb.
I don't know why it captured people's attention as much as it did, because it became this giant phenomenon.
Elizabeth Short was just 22, homeless, alone, moving from place to place, dreaming, like so many others, of making it in Hollywood. But to the media, that wasn't enough. They painted her as a femme fatale, a star chasing fame, maybe even asking for trouble. They twisted her into a character from a noir fantasy. She wasn't smiling, she wasn't flirtatious, she was just trying to survive. The Black Dahlia became a canvas onto which America projected its fears, its sexual anxieties, and its fantasies of fame. And so she was turned into an object, a story, a cautionary tale. The police launched an aggressive investigation. Over 150 suspects were considered. More than 60 people confessed. None were credible. The media frenzy made things worse. Crime scenes were trampled by reporters. Leads were corrupted by rumor and speculation. And vital evidence was lost because of this. The press in 1947 was far more concerned with headlines than justice. Truth was often the first casualty. Some detectives believed the media helped the killer disappear by creating noise that drowned out facts. The more attention the case got, the further from justice it drifted.
The copious media publicity that this case engendered served to hinder the investigation, because many leads came in. People ratting off estranged lovers, people ratting off people who owed them money. It became a circus.
A circus that could sell newspapers as newshounds and detectives looked to Elizabeth's final days.
The Black Dahlia wasn't just a case. It was a blueprint for the way we consume crime stories today. Decades later, the same pattern emerges. John Bennett Ramsey, Lassie Peterson, Gabby Petito. Each of them became headlines before they were mourned. The way the media handled Elizabeth Short shaped how we still treat victims. Fiction often overrides the truth. Speculation outweighs empathy. And women are judged more for how they lived rather than the fact that they died unjustly. Elizabeth Short wasn't a myth. She wasn't a femme fatale or tragic movie character. She was a young woman with dreams, fears, and a life ahead of her. A life that was brutally taken and then exploited by a press that cared more about mystery than justice. The Black Dahlia case tells you a lot more about the people reporting on it than it does about the victim or the killer. Today, we're still fascinated by her case, but we must also remember the price of that fascination. The media has its power, and that power must be used to honor victims, not erase them. The media can serve the public interest, but only if it remembers its responsibility to truth and humanity. We owe it to Elizabeth and to every victim to tell their stories with care, not for entertainment, not for spectacle, but for truth. Because these are not crime stories, they are human stories, and they deserve to be told with dignity and grace.